My name is Hannah Forster. I am the Executive Director of the African Center for Democracy and Human Rights Studies, and I am also the convener and spokesperson of the Forum of NGOs in the work of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. The African Center is a Pan-African human rights organization. Our programs basically in four main areas. We work in gender equality. We also work on conflict management, the right to development, and governance. Our main strategies work around advocacy and lobbying, supported by education and training, capacity building, research, action-oriented research, which informs our activities. We also carry out, we have a library, one of the first human rights libraries in non-governmental organizations, and documentation center. One of our main areas of intervention is the program on building coalitions and networks for human rights in Africa. It is one of the leading human rights organizations on the continent, and we've worked with many organizations. We've built capacity, training in of participants from over 45 African countries. We've carried out research in various issues and on various themes: prison conditions, national human rights institutions, women's rights, inheritance rights, among others. The networking for human rights in Africa is very important, and it is within that framework that we've designed a platform for organizations to work together. And the African Center acts as a bridge amongst NGOs and between NGOs and other stakeholders, including the African Commission and other human rights institutions and bodies. We work in partnership with the African Union, the European Union. The African Center sits on the AU-EU Human Rights Dialogue for Civil Society. We also work with the Community of Democracies, as well as the World Movement for Democracy. We are here within the framework of building platforms for coalition, civil society coalition, and network buildings, of which the Center plays a very major role. When we look at the NGO Forum, it does have representations from the 5 sub-regional areas of regions of Africa: North, South, East, West, and Central. It does also has a focal point in the diaspora, as well as in Lusophone Africa. The focal point in Lusophone Africa brings together the 6 countries that speak Portuguese. And in the last 5 years, since 2019, we've worked with them, and we've been able to build capacity. We've also been able to bring them together and launch them at the African Commission. We've also taken them to Cape Verde to develop their strategic plan. And a few months ago, we were with them in Guinea-Bissau. For vulnerable groups or people from marginalized communities, what we do is we try to empower them. How do we do that? We make sure that they have the knowledge and skills, and that empowerment means being able to engage the African human rights system and the African human rights mechanisms. And you find out that when we do talk about these groups, we are talking about women, we are talking about the youth, we are talking about refugees, we are talking about older persons, we are also talking about a whole lot of people on the death row, so that they themselves will take up their own issues with our support to address them. They need to know where to find redress, and if we are able to provide that, we also provide that. If not, we should be in a position to introduce them to those who can help them, because we also have a large calling of people who do litigation before the African Commission and can even help them if it needs be to go to the African Court. Thank you very much.